Hi and welcome to another short video from my June 2026 European tour. Starting and finishing in Poncebos, I ride to the highest village in the Picos de Europa, Sautres. With temperatures due to peak around about 40 degrees again today, this was a deliberately, relatively short ride, probably about 4.5 hours. Although it could quite easily have been extended to a full day. I just love riding the Picos de Europa. Despite having enjoyed some terrific views so far on my tour through France, other parts of Spain and also Portugal, nowhere is like the Picos. So many wow moments actually condensed into such a relatively short area. Now, for what seems like years, this section of the N621 just north of Poncebos has been totally dogged by roadworks. Stop, start all the time, loads of traffic. But since its completion with its immaculate road surfaces, it's now become a real pleasure to ride. Now, this was my second full day of using Poncebos as a base, and unbeknown to me, as I reached La Hermida, I would actually be turning right just here the following day onto the CA282 as I rode towards Santander. It was yet another part of the Picos I was experiencing for the first time, and yet again another incredible road. Having reached Paines, it was now time to turn off the N621 onto the AS114, heading towards Las Arenas. Now the winding road from Pains to Las Arenas is about 25 minutes of sweeping bends. Once in Las Arenas, I then turn left onto the AS264, heading towards Poncebos and ultimately onto Sotres, following the line of the river where the mountains actually steeply climb on either side. Once again, some magnificent scenery. For me, Poncebos is just a magical place. Nestled between the mountains on either side and the dammed river running through the centre. Just absolutely incredible. I remember the first time I actually rode here back in 2023, 9 months after having passed my test on my K1200. I hadn't planned to head up to Sautres. In fact, I hadn't planned anything at all. And as we reached the bend, I actually carried straight on turning off to the right slightly, and a rather sort of impressive hill, which turned out to be one heck of a ride. Twists, turns up to the cafe at the top. So I thought I'd just share some of that footage. It's only about 2 minutes, but also with photographs of where I actually ended up at the cafe at the top. Absolutely amazing, bloody crazy at the time looking back at it, but wow, what a memory. So fast forward back to June 2026 and I continue my journey. The road crosses the river, leaves the valley and starts the ascent up towards Sautres. Well, I must say the Carpuride sat-nav has been absolutely invaluable on this trip, particularly on the tight, twisty sections. It alerted me to this particular bend as I actually approached. So I slowed down to let the oncoming car come through, in the knowledge that once I'd actually started the ascent up to the 180 switchback, I really didn't want to be slowing down just for the balance and the weight of the bike. But what an amazing turn. Slowed down, dropped down into first as I actually came round. Thankfully there was nothing coming in the opposite direction. Now I do tend to find that with the camera angle it really doesn't show the gradients all that well on the way up. However, you get a far better idea on the way back down again. So later on in the video I've deliberately kept this section in just so you can see how damn steep it is. Now it was at this point when it occurred to me that I hadn't actually stopped for any fluid so far. So when I spotted the hotel on the left, I decided it was time just to pull in, get out of that sun and also just take on some fluids. Now I remember this bend vividly from my 2023 trip when I followed the road where the little grey carriage has gone. With that in mind, I think my eyes were still following it, but there was no way the bike was going to. It actually turns into just a rocky outcrop road as you actually go down to it. I ended up doing a sort of 24-point turn, trying to actually get myself back out, and eventually got back up to the top of the hill. It was not a pleasant experience. So after an incredible ride, here I was actually arriving in Sotres, the highest inhabited village in the Picos de Europa National Park. Population of 130 and standing 3,445 feet above sea level. Once again, this ride had been all about the journey and not necessarily the destination. Although Sautres was a very quaint place, it was obviously attracting a lot of visitors. Couple of local bars where I must admit I did stop and actually enjoy a cold one before heading back down on the bike to enjoy those incredible views and twisty turns from the opposite direction. Now, as well as the temperature gauge, the sat-nav is always a good indicator that it's bloody hot. She tends to actually pack up round about 34-35 degrees, but with a bit of air movement soon actually springs back into life. Now, I've mentioned how the camera angle didn't give you much sense of the gradient on the way up. So this is it actually heading on the way back down again. And once again, it doesn't fully do it justice of the sort of bum clenching rides that I experienced, but it does give you a far better idea. So as I said, this was about a 4.5 hour ride, starting and finishing in Poncebos, and certainly a terrific morning out. The temperatures as I arrived back into Poncebos didn't hit the dizzy heights of 40, stopped round about 39. So if you've actually enjoyed this video, I really would appreciate a like, and perhaps if you'd like to see more, then you can go on and subscribe to my channel. The following day was my journey back to Santander. Unfortunately, the ferry back to the UK was looming far too soon. And rather than taking my traditional route up to the coast and along on the motorway, I decided to take the CA 282, which took me back up into areas of the Picos de Europa that I'd never before experienced. Again, some wonderful twisting roads. Once again, I can't sing the praises of the Picos de Europa National Park highly enough, and certainly staying in Poncebos offers the ideal opportunity to explore. By no means have I covered all that the region has to offer, and I'll definitely be back.